Aloha Imalamopono. So we have a new person visiting us today, Ron, and he had a question about how to use a cane for self-defense. All right, so canes come in many varieties. This is a Hawaiian ko'oko'o. This is a cane master's cane, which is tactically designed. This is an Irish shillelagh. And what Debbie's holding is a jo, which they use in Japanese martial arts as a walking stick, but you can also fight with it. So all of these can be used for self-defense. I'm going to show you my favorite technique though, okay? So, if I got into a fight with another dude that had a cane, like Doug, then it would look like Lacan in French Savate, where it ends up looking like fencing, right? But that's probably unlikely unless we're having some kind of big fight at the senior center. But I will show you my favorite technique. So these different canes have a different history, but in the martial art of Hapkido, I learned a specific opening technique that I practiced a lot, even though when I first learned it, I was a teenager that thought I would never need to use a cane. But I practiced it because I saw the value in controlling range. So if I had a cane and Doug was a potential adversary, this technique is from Hapkido, but it's not so dissimilar from the concept of a teep in Muay Thai. So a teep in Muay Thai is where I'd be here, and if Doug came into me, I would stop him by catching him at the hip. It could be my lead leg as he comes closer to me, or it could be my trailing leg as he comes close to me. But the idea is you stuff him, and it's like in Braveheart when the horses come over the hill, and all of a sudden the pikes come up. That's the concept. So if I was going to do this with the shillelagh here, old school, it was literally almost like an Old West gunfight where I would draw this up and drive it into Doug. But when I was practicing this, I practiced on trees. I practiced on the trees right in front of my house. And I developed a technique where I could either bump it with my knee to catch him, or I could do a little bit of a chip kick with my foot to catch him. Or I could do a combination of both. And if I catch him center of mass like this, it's almost like a bayonet thrust if you're on Doug's head. If he was much closer to me, I could also do this on angle, moving in a different direction. For example, I pull and lift, and then it does become like a bayonet thrust, right? I'm here, oh, I don't want any trouble. Boom. If this was a life and death situation, it could be higher. But I learned this either stopping him at the hip or at center of mass at the sternum. If it was a serious life and death situation, of course, it could be in a different place. In an ideal world, you wouldn't want to have to resort to that. But the concept is, in one swift movement, you're controlling the space between you and your potential adversary with one swift move of your cane.
Technique to go straight to the chest. It would seem like it'd be fairly blockable if somebody was prepared.
The answer to your question was in your question. If they were prepared. Very few people, when they see someone with a cane, think it could be this fast. So literally, it's very hard to perceive the movement, especially if I use my leg to assist getting it there. It's very, very difficult to perceive the initial motion. So it's quite difficult to stop. Let's have you give it a try. Even while you're sitting, you have your cane there. If I'm moving toward you, just kick it up and into me. Yes. And now, Ron is safe from harm. Ron gets to practice. Doug comes in. Ron gets in. Here comes Belinda. Papunga. Here comes Mary. Whammo. Here comes Debbie. Bam. One more. Ah! You got me. right, so in slow motion, just the hand, it's like point and shoot from Fairbairn and Sykes from World War II. With the knee, it's like I'm doing a knee strike. So I do a knee strike to lift the cane into the person. Or I can use my foot. Or I can use my knee and my foot, where my knee starts the lift and then I kick it up. My knee starts the lift and then I kick it up. Alternatively, with a different design, I'm going to have to establish a grip. So as I kick up, I might be this way, right? As I kick up, I might be this way. And it'll look like I'm holding a rifle. I could also, if I was too close to him, I can still use this knee assist to form a base behind it. I could also still use the foot assist to stuff it. And you can feel this will stop your center of mass. Get this just right and the fight's probably over. But notice that I don't have to use the front of the foot with the larger ko'o. I'm hinging to strike. I could also do it to the outside with a knee lift to strike. Lots of ways to use your body to cantilever the cane to your advantage so that you can walk to live another day. Kahi. Elua. Ekolu. Ha. Uah. Ekahi. Going backward. Ready? Elua. Ekolu. Eha! Yeah. Okay, Scotsman. Ron is the English army. In come the pigs.
If they're moving in real close, to get it up to the center mass, maybe do it. Is it as effective to hit it and strike in the groin?
Well, let's find out. Actually, anything along the center line or along the leg can be a useful target. For example, you could potentially strike someone into the shin, into the knee, femoral artery, quadricep, groin. One thing to consider though is that you will create a body fold if you're striking that low. In other words, if you hit me low with your cane, right, hit me in the groin low and you're sitting down, I'm gonna fall on you. So then here comes 240 pounds your way. So if you're gonna strike me in the groin, you wanna make sure you're clearing your angle. So if you were hitting me here, right, use both hands, you wanna hit me at an angle so that if I fall in front of you instead of on you. So be aware, it's like they say with firearms, be aware of your target and what's behind your target. Well, when it comes to striking the body, especially if you're disabled, be aware of your target and what's in front of your target and what the cause and effect is of the target that you strike. All right, so if you have a park or a tree in your front yard, you can practice on a tree. You can use just your hand, you can use your knee, you can use your foot, you can sweep kick to the side like a bayonet here, and all of this you could practice over and over again on a tree. When I was a kid, my grandfather used to give us little Kennedy $50, and I would put with gum on the tree so I would know where I was hitting. Doesn't matter what type of cane you're using, you can practice this method on a tree, and after you practice a whole bunch, you too can be a cane to be reckoned with.